How's it going, everyone? The PlayStation Store is running its excellent weekend offer sale for the rest of today, and there are actually some historic low deals as a part of this sale. So I want to cover that. I saw a comment saying that these are some of the favorite videos that we upload on this channel, historic lows whenever games get to newer price thresholds, new low price thresholds, I should say. Again, this is for the weekend offer sale. We'll cover the other deals available in I am totally blanking on the name of the sale, guys. There are so many sales to follow that I can't remember them all as I'm loading the page. The next level savings sale, yes, the big games, big deals sale just ended. The next level savings sale, we'll have more coverage of that here shortly. But some historic lows I thought I would go over again. You only have the rest of today to check these deals out, but there are some notable stuff. Right off the bat, the Mafia Trilogy is 80% off for $11.99, and I'll just throw in Mafia Definitive Edition, 85% off for $5.99. I'm on a bit of a Mafia high right now, you guys. Mafia the Old Country has shot up to become one of my most anticipated games of the entire year, and I know just because people seem to get mad whenever I say that I'm not crazy excited for Grand Theft Auto 6. Guys, I'm sure GTA 6 is going to be great. It's a year away. The trailer was cool. It'll be a good game, but for my money, for the games that I am into, Mafia Old Country is far more up my alley based on what I'm seeing. Is GTA 6 going to be the better reviewed game? Is it going to be the more content plentiful game? Absolutely, but from what I personally am really a big fan of out of video games a lot of the times these days, Mafia the Old Country, and the fact that the game's 3 months away, I am more excited for that now. Yeah, take me to the gallows for that one, because I read the comments about GTA 6. Why don't you cover GTA 6? Are you really more excited for Legend of Heroes than GTA 6? You know what? Like, not everybody has to be absolutely stoked for the game. But I digress. I don't want to go on a diatribe, even though I just did. Mafia is a great franchise. Have the games all been 9 out of 10, 10 out of 10 titles? No, but I thought Mafia 1 was a really solid narrative-driven game. And again, in an era of games where there are so many games coming out that are 50, 70, 80, 100 hours long, I always felt like Mafia was a digestible, worthwhile experience to go through. At least Mafia 1 and 2 were. Mafia 3, on the other hand, is the one that becomes a little bit more divisive because it did go for this open world approach. And the story was still quite good. The voice acting was good. However, a lot of the content structuring in that game is where I felt like it fell apart. It's still a worthwhile game to go through, and given that Mafia Definitive Edition is $5.99 and the other 2 games would be $5.99 theoretically, you're essentially paying for the price of 2 games when you buy the trilogy pack, so I think that's a great deal. $11.99 is a great pickup. If you want to get Mafia 1 standalone, not a bad deal. Really like Mafia Definitive Edition, but I would just get the trilogy. And it should be noted, Mafia Definitive Edition, while it's a really good game, it is a very basic cover-based shooter. It's not blow-away, and these games aren't blow-away from a gameplay standpoint, especially considering Mafia 2 came out in, like, what, 2010, I want to say? They show their age, but they're still worthwhile games to go through, and I'm excited for Mafia Old Country. Look, I'm sure it'll be a 10, 12-hour long game. I'm sure it's not going to be super lengthy, but we got a lot of games that are super lengthy, and it's at a $50 price point. That game is just emblematic of a lot of the things that I want out of gaming, or I want more out of gaming. You know, not every game has to be this bloated 100-hour experience. Not every game has to be 70, 80 bucks. A $50 digestible experience every now and again. I think that's going to be something a lot of people are going to gravitate towards. But I digress. Mafia Trilogy, Mafia Definitive Edition, good pickups there. Sea of Thieves is $19.99. Again, not my cup of tea, but you know, with Mafia the Old Country, they had noted how, you know, people love their persistent, ever-evolving games. However, games of all shapes and sizes can exist, and Sea of Thieves is more of that persistent, ever-evolving game, and it's become one of the more popular ones. It seemingly has done very well on PlayStation. These Xbox games, based on these studies that we're seeing, man, some of them do well, like Forza Horizon 5, Sea of Thieves, and Indiana Jones seemingly hasn't done all too well, which is wild to think about, given that you would think Indy is this huge IP, but there was just no buzz around that game. Even though I thought it was a really good game, there was just no buzz around it. But Sea of Thieves, again, Worthwhile game, very popular live service title, so $19.99 on that. Next up, Legacy of Kain, Soul Reaver 1 and 2 Remastered, $19.49 on this. Is one of those sleeper deals that when we talked about the weekend offer sale, I had mentioned this and I was like, man, that seems like a really good deal. Given that this just came out back in December, I think this is a really worthwhile pickup, where you get Legacy of Kain, Soul Reaver, and Legacy of Kain, Soul Reaver 2. Experience the legendary narrative centuries after your former master Kain betrays and execute you. You rise again and embark on a relentless quest for vengeance. Wield the powers of a wraith. Slay your former vampire brethren with your claws, bolts of telekinetic energy, and the elemental wraith blade. Grow stronger by devouring the souls of your enemies. Shift between realms. The Elder God has granted you the ability to shift between the spectral and material realms. Traverse the realms to solve puzzles, reveal new paths, and defeat your foes. And again, that is on sale for $19.49. Credit to Aspire for doing a lot of good work as far as, you know, remastering their games outside of the Star Wars Battlefront collection, which was a disaster and an opportunity missed to just print a ton of money, but nevertheless, they did a good job with Legacy of Kain, Soul Reaver 1 and 2, so there you go with that. Call of Duty Black Ops 6 is at a new low price of $45.49. We talked about Black Ops 7 yesterday and the rumblings of that game being $80 with, you know, more emphasis put on the battle passes, so think what you want. I try these days to stay away from multiplayer experiences on PlayStation that require a PlayStation Plus subscription. I just try to stay away from the subscription services these days when it comes to PlayStation Plus. Ain't worth it. And you know, if I want to play a multiplayer game, man, there's a lot of options with games like Marvel Rivals out there, so I gravitate towards those. But if you want to play Black Ops 6, it is on sale for $45.49. Look, I'll say that Black Ops 6 did have an awesome campaign. Is that campaign worth $45 and change? Absolutely not, but, you know, you can do whatever you want to do. It is at a new low price. Eiyuden Chronicle 100 Heroes, 60% off for $19.99, plus subscribers will get it for $14.99. Eiyuden Chronicle 100 Heroes is a game that I enjoyed. I was very excited for it, and I did think it had a litany of issues. I think if from a quality of life standpoint, they can refine some things and just make it a little bit more accessible and worthwhile to go through for a newer audience. I think people would end up enjoying it more. Yes, it's a throwback to Suikoden and all of those games in the past, Suikoden, whatever you want to call it, but, you know, you can modernize it a little bit, and I think that would help it quite a lot. Had a good time with it. I would still recommend you to play it, especially if you're a JRPG fan, and for $14.99, 4+ subscribers, or $19.99 for base, I think this is a decent pickup, a sizable experience, to say the least, with that one. The casting of Frank Stone, that is also on sale for $7.99. You know, the storytelling prowess of Supermassive Games meets the Dead by Daylight universe in a haunting horror game that won't soon be forgotten. Supermassive is pretty talented when it comes to these style of games. Has a 3.93 on the PSN rating system, so there you go with that. Next up, Naruto X BORUTO Ultimate Ninja Storm Connections Ultimate Edition, $47.49. Just want to mention this because it's insane that this is $47.50. A year and a half after the release of it. This game was literal DLC content that they decided, hey, we haven't put out a Naruto game in a while, let's finesse some cash out of some of the hardcore Naruto fans, because that's literally what it was. I get it, the Storm titles are always going to be quite copy and paste, but man, this was, in my opinion, just an absolute lazy release, and I don't know why this has been holding up in price so much. Now, the Ultimate Edition does get you the base game, the Season Pass, you'll get some Boruto content as well. I think, like, again, Naruto is one of those IPs and anime that I'm gonna be incredibly nostalgic with. Much like Bleach, you know, I talk up Bleach on this channel. I think that Bleach game is awesome, but at some point, I just gotta call it as I see it. And then when you get to, you know, Naruto these days, we're also promoting Boruto alongside that, and by the time we got to Boruto, I was kind of checked out of Naruto. I ain't gonna lie, so when we get these Naruto X BORUTO games, not really my cup of tea, I'm not gonna lie. You know, I saw the one fight with Naruto and Sasuke versus, I forget who it was, where the animation, it looked like 3 people died animating that section of Boruto, but other than that, you know, your boy is not a big fan of Boruto, and some of the story decisions as well I'm not crazy about. So, you know, kind of falling out of Naruto these days. I feel like they should get going with Storm 5. Like, that is something, you know, for next-gen platforms only, I think that would do really well, but we'll see if that ultimately comes to fruition. Lego Harry Potter The Collection, 60% off for $15.99. I mean, these games are always going to be titles that people are going to have a good time with if you're into the Lego games. You got years 1 through 4 and years 5 through 7. You know, and even if you're not a big Harry Potter guy, you can still have some fun with it, but for $15.99, I would say this is more so for people that either enjoy these games in the past or are Harry Potter fans or are big Lego fans. I wouldn't just be dropping 16 bucks being like, oh, it's at a new low, let me go check this out, because these Lego games, they get fairly freaking cheap, and they can end up on Plus Essential. They're Plus Extra fodder a lot of times as well, so if you do have a subscription service like that, keep that in mind as well. And then speaking of Plus, Harry Potter Quidditch Champions, 80% off for $5.99, was a Plus Essential game. It looks like this game was an absolute disaster, so, you know, at a new low price. It just came out back in, when did it come out? September of last year, I believe it was? Yeah, September of last year. You know, 8 months after release, 80% off. So that should tell you something right there, brothers. That this game did not do all too well. But yeah, I thought that would be another interesting one to mention. Really, the main deals I obviously wanted to highlight in this video: Mafia, Sea of Thieves, certainly worth a mention. That Legacy of Kain deal, that is a sleeper as well. Eiyuden Chronicle, I think that's a JRPG that people will enjoy. It's one of those, you know, secondary, tertiary JRPGs where there are so many quality options that, you know, if you're one of the more ardent JRPG fans where you've played a lot of them and you want to find some more low-key ones, that's not a bad one. Does have some issues, but at that price point, I think it's pretty good. Can totally see that end up being a Plus Essential game, by the way. That just screams Plus Essential to me at some point. But yeah, good deals all around. Historic lows for these titles, but with a lot of them, like Naruto Exorto, Lego Harry Potter even, you could wait for it to get cheaper. But the Mafia deal, I think, is great. That'll do it for me. Let me know all of your thoughts in the comment section down below. Remember, this is just for the weekend offer sale, and we will highlight the next level savings sale more so this week. So be on the lookout for that. That'll do it for me. Your thoughts down below. Thank you for watching, and goodbye. Hey guys, we hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and if you're already subscribed, do us a favor and hit the bell icon. This way you'll be notified whenever we post a new video. That's the best way to keep up with all of our uploads, and we usually try to upload 2 videos a day. And with the bell icon hit, you'll be notified whenever we do upload a video. As always, thanks for watching.